recognized office supply company with some 1,400 in some 1,400 stores across North America. She has also held positions in marketing and innovation at Coca-Cola, Shell Oil, and General Mills, among others. And in 2018, she was recognized as one of the brand innovators women to watch. Janine Lewis. In our center, we have Damian Mills. He's president and CEO of Mills Automotive Group. He started in the automotive business at the young age of, while he was attending, actually, North Carolina A&T. He we have Andy Pride. Yeah. So, by the age of 25, he became a partner of the dealership he was working for and the youngest general manager at the dealership called Crown Dodge. By 6 years later, he acquired his first dealership, and today, Damian owns the 5th largest black-owned dealership in the country on the BE40 road. You must come to our awards dinner on Friday night to see him receive the BE Auto Dealer of the Year Award. And our last panelist is Mahisha Dellinger. She is the... You can still clap after I tell you. She's the founder and CEO of Curls Beauty Brand. She built her company by pioneering, at that time, the newly natural market in 2002 in Target stores, and she has grown the product line into a global brand found in the US, Canada, Brazil, and the continent of Africa. And if Mahisha seems familiar, you may have seen her on her own network show, Mind Your Business with Mahisha. So we're going to start by minding our business. So the first question I have to the panelists, and I'm going to start with Mahisha, and then go to Damian, and then go to Janine, is what was the event, or what was the period when you saw your company going to an upward trajectory, and you knew that it was going to expand larger than from when you started?
Hands down, retail. When I launched into Target stores, it really changed the level playing field for me and my brand, and also other black brands that came after me. We had been pitching all the other retailers for years and got no after no after no. It took one opportunity with this one buyer, her name was Linda Sullivan, blonde hair, blue eyes, buying for us, to see that the brand had momentum and she wanted to freshen up the category, and she saw the relaxer sales were down and stale, and she bought in 4 brands and tried out this new category. She said, if you guys do well, we'll go ahead and move and grow with you. If not, we'll ship all your stuff back. We started in 105 stores, and we grew from that to 400 to 800 to nationwide, and now we're in over 300,000 stores all over the world. So from 105 stores to 300,000 stores because of that one opportunity, that one chance to give me a moment to prove myself. So it just takes one time. And when you get that one chance, you have to go for it and do it like nobody's business, like really go after it, be hungry, and spend every waking moment thinking about it to make it grow. Because when you get that chance, you know you're ready to make it snap.
You may have that one shot here. So I'm going to go to Damian. I'm going to try to get as many questions as possible in the time we have left. What was that moment? What was that event that took you to the next level?
Well, for me it was, believe it or not, the automotive recession. And the reason why I say that is because when conventional wisdom in business, when conventional wisdom tells you to stay on the sidelines, in business, that's when you have to get in. So I viewed the recession not as an opportunity of contraction to just sit on the sidelines, but as an opportunity because everything just went on sale. Every business went on sale. If you guys know, back in 08 and 09, the automotive Armageddon happened, right? You had manufacturers that filed bankruptcy, but people were not going to automatically go from driving a car to ride horses. So what I did was I had a strong financial relationship with my banking partner, and I saw it as an opportunity to go out and aggressively pursue opportunities and bought them at a discount, much like you see the Warren Buffetts of the world, much like you see when you study success. So for us, during that recessionary period, we actually tripled in size and went from one dealership to now 12 and just under 600 employees now, over 3 states. So,
Damien, his company appeared on the BE Auto List in 2010, and that recorded sales in the year 2009 at the height of the recession. And I remember the sales, he made $98 million in it. Yeah. So, yeah, we're maybe more of a business. Just two more questions, same question for both of you. It appears that when those events happened, you were prepared for that moment. How did you go through the process of preparation? Yeah, first you.
You know, I wasn't prepared, but what I did do is I acted quickly. When I went into that meeting and presented my products to the buyer.
So I think that if your dream is attainable based on where you are right now, then your dream's not big enough. So I don't think you're ever comfortably ready for that next level of growth. And if you are, then you need to stretch further because you need to get in your area of discomfort, comfort, in my opinion. That's where you find your true potential.
You have to get into your area of discomfort to realize your full potential. So, to me,
Somebody keep that out on Twitter.
that's why I said it. In your position, and with Office People, you look at a lot of small businesses and, the trends, small business. In terms of growth, and in terms of making that next move, what do you find from those small businesses? Is there fear to make the next move? Did they follow the same type of approach as both Mahisha and Damien in terms of expanded into different areas, expanded into media, into conferences? Share with us how you went about the evaluation of your company and decided to make those moves into those other areas as opposed to staying in, say, healthcare and beauty products and expanding from that direction?
Well, really, it was already in me. I feel like curls is my bread and butter. My life's work, passion, and mission is to reach back and help others. So I had been doing that informally before Owen called for me to do the show. They just brought it on the platform of a TV show. I wasn't looking to be a TV star. I'm not interested in that world unless it is for a benefit and a greater good. So I did that show with the intentional purpose of helping women like me achieve success. It had to be on my terms. Everything I do is intentional. I wouldn't be here. I loved speak at Black Enterprise events because they're always purposeful, intentional, and they're doing good into our community. So Derek, whenever you need me, I'm here. But everything I do has to have a purpose because I have a lot on my plate. So I'm very intentional about that. I just founded an academy, Black Girls Making Millions Academy, creating millionaires on Black Girl at a time. Our inaugural event was just 2 weeks ago. Amazing, phenomenal. And that is, again, one of the areas I birthed out of the necessity for us to achieve success. Why don't we do more? There's a growth in our community, 300% increase of African-American female-based businesses, but less than 4% of us make it to see the $1 million mark. That's a huge bridge to gap, and that's my mission. So everything I do this year, the TV show, Black Girls Making Millions Academy, everything I sign up for has to help bridge that gap.
So you stay true to your mission, but how have you gone about changing the infrastructure of your company to expand upon your mission?
Well, that required a lot of shifts in my systems and automation, right? So my mentor, I don't know if you guys know who Cormac Cottrell is, he's one of the pioneering black hair care creators from back in the day who created our hair grease, sold to L'Oreal many years ago. Anyway, his son-in-law is my mentor. He's been in the game way before I was even thought of, or I was here. But anyway, he's my mentor. He came in and helped me. One thing we have to remember is we don't know everything, so go in it knowing that you should reach out to someone who does know more than you in that space. And so that's my go-to mentor who helped me automate the business. There were so many different systems that weren't speaking. So having these connect to make sure that we have one seamless operation was important to grow. We had an increase in sales. Once you go from like $1 million to 5, I think that the hardest is from 1 to 10, right? And then from 10 to 50 is the next hardest. So having the infrastructure in place and also the staff, the processes, making sure that your pipeline for manufacturing, whatever it may be, all is ready for that growth and making it. So I had to make some shifts there and changes. And people were open and listen. And so Eric came in and said, Mahisha, you did a lot of great things. You're creative, you do great products, but this is something that's weak, and I need to help make it strong. And I listened to him. He didn't let him, get that change going. So that was an important piece for me.
You needed that sounding board. For you, Damien, some of the changes that you made grew out of that Great Recession and came internally. Can you share with us how your team served as helped create the platform for growth for you?
I think, and I'll echo some of the stuff that you said also. First of all, it is critically important that you have someone that's already been on the journey you're looking to go to. Because I think as African Americans, we have the feeling that we have to do it all by ourselves, for ourselves. And that's a lonely journey. The loneliest place in a company is normally the CEO. Because you get blamed for everything and thanked for nothing. Okay? But I've also said, critically, you have to have good help. You have to have good people. You have to have people that you surround yourself that are not yes people. They tell you the things you need to hear, not just the things you want to hear. Okay? And you gotta pay people. Don't pay them in pesos. Okay? Don't try to get a discount on the brother or the sister. Pay them. You know what? Because if you pay them, they'll stay with you. But you also have to have the courage to understand that if someone doesn't buy into your vision, then they have to go. Because their agenda has to be the agenda. Okay? And some of the toughest conversations that you have to have are not the ones to bring people on, because bringing them on is normally easy. But the ones when you have to separate yourself, because some people don't want to grow at the trajectory that you want to grow, and some people won't have the core values. I would encourage you in business to know who you are, why you want to do what you want to do, and then everything else kind of falls into place. Most people start businesses knowing what they want to do, knowing how much money they want to make, but they don't know why they're doing it. It can't just be money. Now, money is very important, but there has to be a purpose. It has to be purposeful. If you listen to the sister to the right, she told, all of the different initiatives that she has that drives her what and her why creates more and more opportunities. It can't just be the house on the hill.
Speak, one of the last things that you want to happen as you are managing business is for something to happen to your technology. That's one of the ways that Office Depot has evolved. So we offer products and services that are remote that make sure that the problem never occurs, so that you never experience any degree of outage having to do with your technology. Beyond that, we're also providing services, bookkeeping, you name it, look on the website, the list goes on and on, but our intention even imagine coming from a traditional, what used to be known as a traditional office supply company. Once again, we're evolving because you're evolving, and we want
We're going to take questions as soon as possible, so please line up by the mics. I want you to get in as many questions as possible. You have main.
Recognizing that, the failing forward is I recognize this is the boundaries, this is where we're the most successful, this is what we do good, so now I'm going to retract from that particular area and gobble up 2 or 3 more in this area. And you know what? That to me is failing forward, recognizing limitations, but also recognizing that if we want to test those limits again, what do we do different? Because you can't go back, you can't do the same thing over and over again that's not successful and expect it to be successful.
So how have you dealt with failure, Manisha, and how has that positioned you for something bigger, something greater, a new product line?
Very timely question. Have a recent one that I'm living in right now. In the midst of taping, I launched a new collection. And because everything you said was just so spot on, because once you're successful, you think, I can do it over and over again, and it's just gonna always pop, right? So everything I touched turned to gold, and every drop that I had would be successful. And I launched a collection that one of my partners were really heavy in because of my proven track record, and it flopped. I was gone taking care of other people's businesses and diverted too far from the brand that I created as far as the look, and did not have the same energy into that one as I did others, because again, I was away constantly taping, and it fell so hard, and I'm living that now, because when you fail in retail, that's a big bite of dollars, a couple $1 million bites. So in the midst of that, I go, okay, woosah, let me take lessons from this. I knew what I had to learn what I did wrong and take it in, realize it, learn from it, and plan forward for the next launch. And I took key learnings away from it, never to do it again. But in the meantime, it's still hard. First time out the gate ever happening, it's hard, and I'm in the middle of it now. But I know that at the end of it, what I'm going to take away will be greater and better than what I did going in. Because my next launch, you better believe, baby, is going to be on fire. So it's a hard pill to swallow, but I'm doing it.
As part of your forward plan, diversify, but don't be diverted, especially from the cash cow. We're going to go through the questions. We're going to start with the first question. Please.
Hi, my name is Teresa. I'm the owner of Nike. We are an award-winning accessory brand, and we specialize in exquisite pieces for the sassy woman on the go. And we've had amazing success. We were able to reach $2.6 million of revenue in just 11 months without investment. However, thank you. I am at the point now where I don't know if you are anyone who want to take.
I have a personal perspective on that. I don't know if everyone needs to go with an investor, but I have a biased view because I don't like debt. So I did not go with an investor. I started small. I grew my business organically over time and reinvested every penny back into the business. And I had a day job as I was doing both. I like to play it safe. I'm more of I'm not a big gambler. I don't really like to have a lot hanging over my head. So it really depends. Are you not able to go without an investor? Can you do maybe an LLC, a line of credit, to grow your purchase orders and just use it for, merchandise and inventory? Tell me why you want an investor, because I don't think everyone should just automatically ask and go in looking for investment dollars.
Totally, I agree. I feel the same way. However, I have customers that are continually asking us for new product lines, and
Okay.
I want to deliver. So it's based off of consumer research, for example,
Okay.
a shoe line and a clothing line. And we're able to float with what we have, but when you have to anticipate the growth, it's difficult. So I don't know.
Do you want to do a shoe line? I mean, and a clothing line?
I do.
You do. Which one you want to do first, clothing or shoes?
Shoes.
Okay. If you were going to go clothing, I have a manufacturer, Maxie J, who has an overseas manufacturing plant, who's one on my show.
Listen, Manisha, it's completely worth it for me to do clothing first. They will come, the order does not matter.
So So Max is Jay, I'll connect you, we'll talk after. She will show you, number one, your scale, and if you order this amount, we'll save this amount of your growth, your trajectory, and how you can save money. And she'll show you her costs and be really transparent with you and give you an amazing price point. That's the most important thing, cost for good. She was at my Black Girls Making Millions Academy, spoke to ladies, and opened like 10 accounts, helping these black women helping other black women. So I can connect you with her, and that doesn't require having an investor. You can start small with her.
Okay, that's encouraging. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
I'll also to add to it. Sales don't kill businesses, debt kills businesses.
Okay.
My recommendation is to even though you're wanting to do more,
Yes.
stay to your core, make the money you have to make, reduce your costs, increase your margin, establish a line of credit, and grow organically.
Okay.
Because what doesn't kill, selling is one thing, but what kills most businesses is debt.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tamara Davenport. I own Positive Outlook Men's Grooming and Positive Outlook Beard Care. I have an all-natural vegan product line for my black men. It was created because of the loss of my father and my brother, two brothers and stepmother in a plane crash when they were 13. I wanted to give back the love that they gave me during that ugly phase when I was about 13. And I wanted to give back to you all so that you all can grow with us and live long, possibly to 102. You know, and I wanted you to have something all natural. So my question is for you. I want to be in all of the Target stores, but I have no idea what is needed in order for me to scale my business to be in a major manufacturer or retailer. Can you give me information on whom I will come to for an organic distributor, and what do I need to have in place before I even start to want to pitch to other businesses such as Target?
I have a question. Why do you want to be a Target?
They have organic, all-natural products.
That's the only reason?
That's the only reason.
Is that the best partner for you? That's what I'm getting at.
I'm not 100% sure.
What's the name of your brand? What's
Positive Outlook Beard Care.
Oh, beard care.
Positive Outlook Grooming. Yes,
Okay.
that's grooming.
So have you walked into the Target store to see how many beard products they have?
Yes, I have right now. I have 2 or 3. That's
Two or
it.
three? Okay. Have you seen it? One thing I want you to look at is the sales of those too, before you pitch to Target, number one. Number two, look at your sales and your social media as well. The buyers look at all of that. So I'm not sure where you are in that space, but definitely ramp it up and make sure that you get visible. And I mean, I have contacts with brokers who can connect you to Target. I work directly with Target, of course, I have distributors. But the key thing before you go into retail, that's for anyone, you have to have a strong customer base before you do retail, because you can lose your shirt literally going into retail without making the turns weekly and just having rejected and pulled out, because once you go in once and you get pulled, you can't come back in. So I want you to get really strong with your sales before you go to retail. So grow it organically, online, run up your sales, get really aggressive with social media, and start tagging some of the key people that you want to see, watch your brand, and make sure that it's sustainable. Because you don't want to just, I hear a lot of people come to me and ask me, how can I get into Target or Walmart or CVS or wherever? And again, I was at year 7 before I went into retail. And so I have to have a strong base first, and I don't want you just to go in and fail. So how, are you ready? Think you're ready sales-wise?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I want your help with information on organic manufacturers. That's hard to find for me.
You want help with?
Finding an organic distributor, manufacturer.
Oh, distributor or manufacturer?
Both.
Okay, so for your manufacturing question, do you subscribe to any of the industry publications?
No.
Okay, so in the beauty world, HAPPI, H-A-P-P-I, GCI, God, Christ, Igloo. In the back, you're going to find classifies different manufacturers, and you can call them, and some of them do small batches. They give them an order of 300 units. So start there, and that's easy breezy. Regarding distributors, they're a host. First choice sales and marketing They are a Black-owned brokerage company that deal with natural brands, hair, and body. And so they're in Memphis, Tennessee, and you can Google them and research them. DeMar Roberts is the VP, and he represents Curls and other brands, so you can reach out to them as well. They won't put you in until you're ready, though.
What does ready look like is sales, and that's it.
We have time for one question, but please get together with Mahisha after the session, and then so that you can make those connections and move forward. The advice that Mahisha gave was very valuable in terms of doing the research and connecting with the right platform to get to the next level. Okay, thank you. Sorry to cut you short. I just want to get another question in.
Good afternoon. My name is Tyra Smith, and I'm the owner of Upscale Gourmet Bakery called the Cupcake Queen. And in an industry that is very cliquey, competitive, and very tight-lipped, how do I find the people that you guys have suggested that have the knowledge and have gone before me to help me to be able to scale my business where I would like for it to be?
I think you need to find, for me, I found people that was doing what I wanted to do or what I was doing currently. So most successful people don't mind sharing their knowledge. Most insecure people do. So I'm gonna pass the plate in a minute, right? I'll get all this for free, right? But you know what? I really think that finding someone that's already done it, and then having the courage to go and ask them, because you'll be surprised, they will share with you. The other thing is this: getting that knowledge from them is like getting a PhD, because they will also, they're not just going to share their wins, they'll share their losses. You really find more knowledge in the losses than you do the wins. Because the wins, we tend to not remember as much, but those losses, they're enduring. And that's where the nuggets are.
I just couldn't agree more that you've got to, for all of us, going deep within your industry and knowing key people within your industry, knowing where they gather, knowing how they connect, and being a part of those associations is really critical. And you'll be able to find those people who are secure enough to help you along your journey.
So I'm going to have to wrap it up.
No, keep going.
I'm stuck. Oh, great. Yeah, I didn't want to stop. Please, next question, please.
Okay, my question is about scaling as far as staff. So my company, you talked about where your company grows really fast. So my company's been growing really fast. So we reached $1 million in 2 years. We're projected to reach $1 million this year. My issue is, how do I bring on people to help me continue to build the brand? Because literally, my company is Sisters Travel and Solo. We're a travel company, and we host group trips around the world, mainly for women of color. So literally last week, we offered a trip that sold out in 1 hour. So I can't continue to do this by myself. So what tips do you have on hiring staff? Or bringing on staff?
For my industry, we have what we call KPIs, so key performance indicators. And when I do a forecast of where I want to be, we back into those KPIs, and the investment to hit that forecast is bringing on the staff, which is the expense, okay? I think where most people tend to make the mistake is they don't know what the number is that they're forecasting to achieve. Thereby, they either have too many or too few people to attain it. So you have to understand, okay, how many folks do I have now? What are those folks generating revenue-wise based on the head count? What do I forecast my desired revenue to become? And then by doing the simple math, it should equate to how many people you need. Now, the other important thing is, don't just look at your top line sales, you need to look at net. So how much am I grossing per employee, but how much am I netting per employee? Because how much I'm netting for employee will tell me this is the expense structure I have to keep those folks at, all right? So understand what the KPIs and the metrics of your industry is, and allow that to be a leading indicator of what your head count should be, but allow also the net profit to be that trailing indicator based on the head count. Because what you don't want is you don't want too many, but you also don't want too few. Because when you have too many, you don't make enough money. When you have too few, your customer service is poor.
We're going to take the next question, please.
Hi, my name is Christine Hall, and I'm the CEO of Boss Class LLC, which I teach single mom CEOs, everyone who want to build a brand on Amazon and sell on Amazon. I made my first $1 million last year and I'm at $5 million this year. I'm also a best-selling award-winning author, and my story journey untold is about mental health. So I'm also a mental health advocate for Georgia, Florida, and the entire Caribbean nation. My question to you, Manisha, is how I'm at the point where balance is the key, because I have two very powerful platforms that are doing extremely well. And I have an extremely good staff. I have a support team, virtual assistants, you name it, everything technology, but just internal balance. And I know a lot of you in here who run your businesses can relate to the coping mechanism. Can you give us any strategies on how to cope with it all when you really meet that pinnacle of life?
Are you asking about work-life balance?
So you have your platform that you have with the girls, that you have a passion for, and you're always helping other people on the show. You wouldn't have taken on that responsibility if it wasn't for something that you were passionate about and helping others.
Right.
So you also have a business as well. So when you have two exciting things going on in your life, and you're like, whew.
How do you manage your enterprise?
Well, it's really about having the right team. Like, I birthed the idea of Black Girls Making Millions, and I rallied my team. Because really, I can't do it all, right? I am a wife, I'm a mother of 4, I have a business, I have, a family, and then I have these different activities, and Black Girls Making Millions. I can't do it all. Having the right people around you is important. It sounds like you're structured well, where you have technology on your side, and it sounds like you have a team as well.
I do.
Okay, so you birthed the vision, and then you rally your team to help execute it.
And now I'm just at the point of, woo-wee! Like, what do I do now? I have so
Birth your
many
vision,
ideas.
and then have the right team to execute it. So it may be 2 separate teams, or maybe it's 1. But as long as you have the strong people in your corner that will work, that see the same vision and really rally behind you, you can get it done. But don't take on too much that your team, and too soon, that your team is not ready to take on. Okay, so be careful there. So it sounds like you have 2 passions, awesome. Do you have enough people in place?
For the one side, yes, the Boss Amazon class I do. For
Boss Amazon
Boss Amazon class.
class.
Where
Okay.
I teach teens and adults how to sell on Amazon effectively.
Okay, how to sell on Amazon effectively, awesome. And then the other is
My memoir, Journey Untold when it comes to mental health. So I'm also a mental health.
mental health advisor.
Right.
Okay, so you do mental health advising, and then you also have this Amazon selling platform. Okay, great.
I don't
So,
have a team for mental health. I am it.
and you wrote a book, right? You're author. Now, when you're advising people, that's you. That takes your time. You can't delegate that at all, right? That's all 100% you. So that takes a lot more of your time, and that is definitely a time dump, but that's something you're passionate about. But the other piece, you're gonna have a strong team, so while you're off doing passion A, passion B is covered. Do you have that now?
I do to a point. A lot of the information why I'm so successful in what I do is because I have a background in computer science, so I know how to reread Amazon's code to our benefit.
Wow. I need to talk to you. Okay. Let's meet after this class. Yeah, so, well, I guess I don't hear. If you have the right team, it sounds like you're on the right track.
I am, but sometimes I feel like, right now, I feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't owned it yet. Like, I cannot still believe that I'm where I'm at. Like, for real, it's only been 4 years I've been doing both of them. So,
Sorry, we're going to have to wrap up. But as you see, these are the type of connections that you make at forward
Yes.
with Black Enterprise. Great. And Let's give our panel a rousing round of applause. And that's a grand
Wonderful, wonderful sisters in the room. And I just want to tell you guys, this black girl magic is awesome. I have twin daughters that just graduated from college. That's future entrepreneurs. Show them some love if you don't mind. I share with them that it's one thing for them to see what's happening inside our home, but I come in here to Black Enterprise. I wanted them to see ladies like yourselves and ladies like yourself that are out here doing this thing, because you guys are changing lives, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're going to have to unfortunately wrap up, but please give another round of applause to our panel.